joyful hello to all of you. My name is Minnku Buttar, founder of the Circle of Joy that brings you self-mastery programs and retreats. It gives me great joy to bring to you this season's talk show, a series of interviews on choosing joy, secrets, and stories from all over the world. It is my diligent attempt to show you that joy is not a hockey-pocky, frivolous concept, but a discipline, a way of life much needed. If you want to be resilient, radiant, and unstoppable like a runaway train. So subscribe to my channel so that you can tap into the wisdom of people from all over the world. I will see you there. Let me start today's episode with a quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. You carry Mother Earth within you. She's not outside of you. Mother Earth is not just environment, it's that insight of interbeing. It is possible to have real communication with the earth if you choose to, which is actually the highest form of prayer. And yet, not too many of us know how to slice through the dark clouds of a life's journey. It's very ironical. And we don't know how to embrace this very unfettering light and vibrations of Mother Earth. This is the conversation to be had today. A joyful namaste. My name is Minnku Buttar, your host from India, and I'm delighted to welcome you all back to the festive episode of Choosing Joy, Secrets and Stories from Around the World. And where can you catch this wisdom of my speakers? On my YouTube channel. A new episode published 1st and 15th of each month. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and press that cute bell icon to receive regular notifications. Well, my guest speaker today is someone I connected on a soul level. She's the founder of Next Level Empowerment Coaching, featured authored Biz Catalyst 360, having received Top Book Author Consultant 2022 and Top Inspirational Author for Unshakable Power through Seasons of the Soul. She was also selected as Top Book Author Consultant of the Year by IAOTP Digital Journal. Now, in her words, love and believe in yourself through life's adversities, as that's what strengthens you and reminds you who you truly are. So she helps empower you to find that strong and capable person inside you again. Well, that statement makes me feel empowered right now. So without any delay, to share her story of resilience, survival, healing, and choosing to live a life full of confidence, clarity, and courage, please join me in welcoming all the way from Arkansas, United States, my admirable guest, Charlotte Murphy. Welcome, Char.
Oh, thank you so much, Minnku. That was wonderful. Thank you. It's lovely to be here.
You're so welcome. I'm so happy we are doing this together. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So let's just get right on, because I know that you're a powerhouse and you have so much to share with the world and our global listeners from around literally the globe. So today we've had this wonderful conversation before, and I know that you assist people to courageously use their unique gifts and talents, and you help them, of course, transition and then transform like a beautiful butterfly through serious life crises to find joy, passion. Now, this is now, of course, Charlotte, from what I understand, because you did drop a very successful attorney business, right, to start living this passion-driven life and journey yourself. And what really, Charlotte, initially caught my eye was your quote, "Don't die with the story still in you."
Oh my goodness.
And I'm really curious, and I really did want to know your story, and that's how we connected. So today, Char, would you mind sharing with our wonderful audience your story? I mean, what challenges or what triumphs have made Char who she is today?
Well, my goodness. Certainly will try
Thank you.
my best, of course. I, yes, I have had some challenges in my life and a lot of things to overcome, as we all do. So I don't look at myself as being special or anything. Like, I understand that everyone has this gift within them, their own special gifts to be able to overcome their challenges. And they come in waves. They may come early in life and go all the way through life. They may come later in life. And so it's all in how we are able to approach those challenges when they arrive. And I don't even like to call them challenges anymore, because really, Minnku, they are, as you know, they are opportunities basically to learn and grow and get to the higher place where we really are meant to be in our lives.
That's so true. That's so true.
Right.
Yes. And
So,
yeah, please, please.
oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Yes, I just wanted to say that in my journey, I actually did, I did not go to law school until later in life, when my son was a little bit older, because I was a single mom. I put myself through law school. And when I finally made it through that process and started my own practice and practiced successfully for 15 years, I had a breast cancer diagnosis at the height of my career. And then went from one to being told that one to two, and they told me, my doctor said, you can't practice law anymore. So it really wasn't that I gave it up or just dropped it. It was actually something that I had to do. And so I say that breast cancer literally saved my life.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah, that's almost like a credible to an incredible story. And Shar, I'm just so glad that this can bring a lot of people down. It can be depressing. I've lost my own sister to cancer, and uh, what was happening there? Uh, what did it take for you to come out of this? Not once, but 4 times over. That's an incredible. I mean, you are incredible. And so,
Goodness.
what was happening? Was there some spiritual alignments? What shift was happening for you to sail through this?
Well, actually, it was a series of events that happened right up before the first breast cancer diagnosis, where I had some encounters with some angels, and that actually showed themselves to me. And I started really listening. Even though I'd been angel writing for most of my life, I didn't really know what that meant. It's automatic writing, just from inner voice, this just writing from flow within, hearing this voice come through, and just writing from there. But when right before the diagnosis, I had an interesting encounter um, with an angel actually being photographed on the front porch of my home. And no one saw it, of course, with the naked eye. And then when we got the photographs, there was this huge angel that just appeared. It was like, whoa. And I had to get someone to come and say, and tell me what that was, what that meant. And
Incredible.
right. And so that led into me becoming more in touch with that, paying attention to and listening to that inner voice. And right after I was told that I could not practice law anymore. I remember being on the phone with a good friend, and we were discussing that, and I had this knowing that when I hung up the phone, it was as if I heard, it's okay. It's going to be okay. And this is not going to be the end of this, but this is leading you to something higher and better. This is leading you to your real purpose in life.
That is so incredible. And it's my understanding as well, Shar. I mean, you know, when you were talking about the angel on your front porch, that's, you know, I mean, you and I, we've talked about this, and I've been a witness to some of these appearances as well, and that's how we've connected. Because, you know, Shar, it's my understanding that one can vibrate at these associations that we make with we vibrate at a higher frequency, and then that in turn means we can be better humans. And when we are really on a true path, our own purpose-driven path, we can serve Earth, our planet, better, right?
Exactly. Absolutely. And it's learning to be in that higher vibration. And I believe that we all can, and at any time. Sometimes it's as easy as just, I have a little roll-on rose spray, because rose is the highest frequency oil, one of the highest, and it just brings me to this, you know, that place of happiness and joy and enlightenment. Those are the highest frequency vibration levels of energy that are. And when we can, whatever it takes, whether that's just, sometimes it's automatic, because I can just come out of a deeper place of, let's say, unhappiness or fear or anger or whatever it is, and remind myself. And it's all in habit, right? It's what we train ourselves our whole life to listen to our higher selves and catch ourselves in negative thoughts or fear, and say, okay, I've got to change that. So it's through that. And then as we change our vibrations and put our highest energy out into the field of consciousness, conscious awareness, then we are, by just doing that, we are raising the energy of the planet. If enough of us are doing it together, we are able to overcome that all negativity and raise it to a higher level.
Yeah, the collective consciousness, and that's why I see in India we call it satsang, when a group of people get together and pray, and each one can do it individually, but when you come together and pray, the uplifting of that vibration and frequency is quite incredible. You remind me of, you know, as you were speaking, I was back in the Great Pyramid of Egypt, and I remember descending right at the bottom through, you know, these caves and ladders and they just allow a few people to go. You never go individually there for whatever reason from those times. And that vibration, the spiritual vibrations, I think it's the word that comes to me is sync. Because there is something, you know, Shar, between spiritual vibrations and frequencies. And I think nowadays people are using the word sync quite a bit. So I just want to ask you, is resonance, is that another a word for synchronized vibrations? I mean, where's that coming from?
In a way, it's as if resonance is more to me, as we talk, we resonate with each other's thoughts, feelings, right? We resonate, we understand, we identify. And as we resonate, then we become in sync.
Yeah. I
Does that
totally.
make sense?
Oh, completely. I so agree now. I see the connection that you
Mhm.
resonate as a group because you're raising, because people vibrate at different frequencies, right? For
Right.
example, Shar, it's like the fireflies of a certain species. They start flashing their little fires in sync, right? That
Exactly.
yeah, or even the moon's rotation is so synced with the orbit. So that's so beautiful. And
Mhm.
uh, Shar, you are beautifully aligned to this golden space. Uh, Completely shows through in your aura. You're on this beautiful path of ascension.
Thank
So
you.
share a little bit with our audience. Say someone, decides, okay, this is interesting what Sharon and Minnku have talked about, and I'd like to experiment, or not experiment. It's actually, again, resonance, isn't it? I'm ready to embrace and open myself up to receiving. So how does one, or how can one go around raising their frequencies? Any benchmarks? Are there any signs to know that you're in the right path? I think that would help our listeners.
Well, one of the things that's been very interesting in my experience has been, um, there's different ways that we interact with the spiritual world, right? And they show us in signs and things all around us, but sometimes we don't pay attention to those. Well, almost every day of my life, I see repeating numbers. Let's say it's a 333 or it's
Oh,
555, or, and just little things like that. And when you notice them, 5 or 6 times a day, it's like, okay, what are you showing me? Or, is that confirmation that I'm on the right track? Yes. And that's the way. So just little signs. It can just be anything that it can be just that silent voice, like I heard,
mm,
or I hear, that just says, you don't need to worry about that. And you don't need to be concerned with that. Or you're really, this is right. This is right. It's a knowing. It's just that
yeah,
reinforcement of a knowing that you're on the right track, whether it's just a hearing, or the repeating number, something as simple as that. It's just,
mm,
for me, it's become an automatic knowing. So if I was to say to someone else, that if they said to me, how would I know, or how do I get there? It's, again, it's creating that bond with the spiritual world and opening up
mm,
our own hearts
right,
through love,
mm,
and to be open to receiving and asking.
absolutely. Shar, you just absolutely hit, the nail on the head. A lot of us, sparked by conditioning, we are told, don't ask, that's greed, and that, you shall be given. But I have realized as well that it's like a little child in a clan of, say, a dozen siblings saying, like I exist as well. And sometimes you just have to, because we're just so divine. Who are we? I mean, we're a spark of God, and we have to walk on this ascension path. It's doing is returning you to your true divine nature, right, Char? So
Exactly.
yeah, so ask and then receive those affirmations. Um, what's your practice like, Shar? Do you have a certain ritual that you start your day with, or you end your day with, that just completely ties up that oneness that you feel with the universe?
Absolutely. Every morning, I wake up in gratitude, first of
Mm,
all,
mm,
for being able to open my eyes and knowing that I have a purpose in that day and being thankful for that, and to be able to wake up to another day, to be able to live my purpose, because after what I've been through, and
Yeah.
I'm totally blessed to still be here.
Mm.
So I live my life in gratitude, and um, meditation is a big part of how I start my day and end my day. And actually, it's almost a joke now because I feel like I'm walking around in a constant state of meditation, just being that open vessel to receive and give what I receive back to anyone that's needing it, whether they even know that they're receiving it or not. And it's fun.
Yes.
It's really I love it. It's
So
just a beautiful.
joyful, sure. It's so joyful, and I think your own values that we are born with some, we imbibe some, and some we pick up. So I think, like I think we discussed the last time, it's your clarity of where do you want to head in life, how do we become your sense of purpose in life, and how badly. I remember one of my masters, real life masters, telling, and I said, he said, I said, Guruji, right? Guru, we call them gurus, the life
Yes.
masters, because guru,
Mm-hmm.
they actually take away the darkness from your life. And I said, how, master, how do I walk on this path? Because this is really my purpose. And he just looked at me and he said, how badly do you want it? I said,
Exactly.
bad, bad. And
Hmm.
and I said, how do I define bad? This was such a wonderful conversation that changed my life. I just wanted to share it with you. And he
Yes.
said, imagine someone's dumping you, holding you by your hair and dumping you, in the lake, in water. And imagine how badly you want to come up for a breath, that one single breath.
Hmm.
That's how much you should want it. Uh,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
And,
Yes.
right. Taking our, it keeps drawing me back to this conversation just before this magical but existential realm of ascended masters that we both connect to so much. Whether we're talking about Jesus or Mother Mary or Buddha or Guru Nanak, the list goes on.
Mm.
And it's so beautiful. Who do you connect to? I'm very curious. Is there one particular angel that you always seek, or is it how your day is going and what need? How is that sync happening?
Well, it's interesting. That's a good question. I am very attached to the angelic realm.
Mm.
So I that and there's not one single angel that I would call forth. I call several,
Mm.
depending on what's going on. If it's a healing situation, there's Raphael.
Mm.
If it's whatever it, I call in different ones. Michael for protection, obviously, and different angels for different things. Um, the, the Ascended Master is my personal favorite. I have a couple or three, but Saint Germain is always with me behind. I mean, he's probably standing right behind me right now, um, or I know he is. And uh, so that, yeah, I do have a certain group that I do call on, and they're always there for my support. And I know that I can count on them whenever I ask, just like you did of your guru. You ask the question and they answer, but you have to listen, right? You have to listen. It is, how bad do you want it? How bad, whatever it is. And through that listening, we're often, sometimes we mm, don't want to listen because it may be something that's fearful, or, oh, you mean I got to do that instead of
Mm. Mm.
this? as in having to completely change my career and my life and start all over. And no, I don't want to do that. Well, do you want to live your higher purpose? Just like, how bad do you want to come up out of the water and breathe again? You
Yes.
know, well, I'm gonna die down here. So yes, I want it. I want to live my passion. So take me, whatever it means,
Mhm.
and accept it. Go with it.
The trust, right, Shar? We're talking about that trust. And I think you have to build anything that's in the dark, anything that humans haven't explored, there is a certain fear. Let's admit it. There's a little fearfulness around it. But
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to just tread and trudge, if I can put those two words together, to walk this path if you so decide.
Absolutely.
And it's a beautiful path. So I think between you and me, Shah, today, I think I feel it. I feel it. We're going to invoke a lot of beautiful journeys, invocations, affirmations in our audience today, if they so choose to be open to it. Um, and you beautifully said about Master Saint Germain, and uh, I think he really, there's a statement somewhere I read from him, and he says that I come in to heal any disease, right? Disease, if you break the
Disease.
tooth. And he also creates abundance, and
Yes.
he achieves transfiguration of the physical body. And I think that's really a good. I connect so much to Archangel Michael, and he's
Mm-hmm.
forever. I hear his fluttering. And yes, I don't think there's anything in the world that if you don't trust in the process, it's just it's a path that's, if you don't choose curiosity over fear. Um, so that's so beautiful. Thank you, Shar, so, so, so much for sharing this conversation and bearing your soul, and
Thank you, Minnku.
your guidance on how to connect with the universe and how to uplift, really, if you're talking about
Mm-hmm.
uplifting the collective consciousness of Mother Earth, and the sync that you talked about. Thank you so much for bringing that forth for our audience. Uh,
You are
you're
welcome.
doing that. You're doing that. And how do you do that, Shar? If how are you bringing a difference? Because I know that you're so connected to various organizations. How do you
Mm-hmm.
inculcate the spiritual realm into a pragmatic? Would you share a little bit for our audience if they wanted to reach out? How are you able to help them?
Actually, I do quite a few different things, but I do I help people bring their stories out of them to help people going through similar things, because I believe everyone has a very valuable story to share that can help someone. And I always say, even if it helps just one person, that's magical in and of itself. And we are here to uplift each other and help each other. And it's through our stories and through our own journeys, through whatever difficulties we have been through, that help inspire and lift others to understand that they've got inside of them what is necessary to overcome anything that comes up against them. And they have this beautiful spiritual support system that they can call on and ask the questions. And they will, if we are opening to listen, we will receive the answers that we need. It's in listening. And if we do not listen, that's when the problems start to really occur. And it's important to listen. And that goes back to the trust that you were talking about just now. And I appreciate you bringing that up, because that is very, very important. And trust starts right here. We have to trust ourselves before we can trust anybody or anything else. We have to start by trusting ourselves with that knowing, okay, I know what to trust and I'm willing to trust, be open and willing to trust.
Yeah, it's a beautiful two-way relationship because and again, I just wanted to say this, add this, for our listeners, that it's not about taking the dependency on someone around you and then saying, oh yeah, all my solutions are going to lie with my ascended angels.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think you have to walk the path as well, right? You have to
Exactly.
you have to do what you have to do, and you can seek, I think it's more of a support system, if I'm right.
That is what it is. I mean, yes, if it is within you
Mhm.
to actually take, because we're spiritual beings in having a physical experience, right?
Yes.
And so it's in that knowing of who we really are and stepping into that and being able to take the physical action steps necessary to go to that place that we know we need to be in order to live the best and highest for ourselves and for others. That is part of the journey, and it is oftentimes not easy to step on that path and just put one foot in front of the other and just keep going and say, I trust, I know I can do this. I'm going to listen to my guidance and be open to receiving and moving forward the best that I know how in the physical body.
Mhm. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. And I'm feeling that. I am feeling right now, Asha, that beautiful, joyful space that we're talking about. And it's almost like we humans are hungry. And why would you not, you have this most delicious dish in front of you. And why would you not reach out and eat it? So, Shah, thank you so much for this wonderful wisdom. And I look forward to connecting with you, actually. And, my invitation for you to come to India stands open.
Oh, I'm excited for
Yes,
that. Thank you,
yes,
Minnku.
yes. With my
Yay.
next retreat coming up in end of February 2023, uh,
Yes.
in the city of Varanasi, which is actually the longest living city in the world. It's going to be a
Yes.
joyous space, and I really look forward to connecting with you and those hugs and invoking
Ah,
our angels together. So,
yes.
so
I'm
on that
so excited.
so on that note, Shar, let's get into a little lighter mood and let's get into the rapid fire round. In fact, I keep saying this, that I'm going to put it out to our beautiful tribe that both of us know from Biz Catalyst, how to reframe. I don't like the word rapid fire. Maybe we need to use something else that's not as threatening. So I'll just put that out on LinkedIn. But right now, I invite light, quirky, spontaneous answers to a rapid fire. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. So you're the driver. Take this wherever you want to. And let's start with the first one. What does a healthy planet look like in your inner scene?
A healthy planet to me looks like people connecting
Mhm.
the way that we are connecting because we are all one
Mhm.
and we really are all one. We are part of this divine oneness energy. And as that, we have the capability to come together as one and make the changes that we want to see to make a healthy planet
Mhm.
thrive, a thriving, people thriving, people
Mm.
being in peace and love. And we have that capability through our vibrations and the energy that we put out to raise that, again, that awareness and that vibration to be able to bring the people together. It's that simple, really.
Yeah, it's that again, we talk about the resonance, we talk about the sync, we talk about the collective consciousness. So, Shar, here goes the second one. What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Do you really want to know?
Well, I was guided and I've thrown that to you.
I'm just, yes, I'm kidding. It's just kind of funny because I do not do anything before I feed my cats.
Oh, that's cute.
Well, they won't let me get out of bed without coming in and feeding them. And one is 16 years old, so she knows when it's time to eat, and she knows when it's time to wake me up. She's my alarm clock, and it's time to eat, so I get up and feed her.
And that's why I have these questions, because these are the cute little nuances that we all have, and the audience that connects to, and it's lovely to be able to talk at this level. And one of my next questions was, have you ever talked to an animal? So I take that right back, because obviously you do.
Oh yes.
And,
oh yes.
I, in fact, just talking about being vulnerable, and I want to share. I talked to mosquitoes recently to actually behave themselves and fly away before biting me, so that I don't have to swat them.
I love that.
And my family
That's
thinks,
good.
she's bonkers. She's left humans aside and she's talking to the mosquitoes. Oh, it's beautiful. Life is
Oh, I love
beautiful.
that.
Shar, what would you like to be remembered for?
Oh goodness. I would like to be remembered for being an encourager of people and giving people hope and inspiration and peace and love in their hearts, to know that they are okay with who they are. They are better than okay. They are beautiful, and they are loved, and they are loved. We all are. And that's what I'd like to be remembered for, is that person that encourages people just to know that.
That's beautiful. I always think about, I'm very curious about the inscriptions on tombstones, because really that's really what families kind of, write that last message for people departed. And it's, I think, encapsulates so beautifully. So does that thought bring you joy, Shar? Is that what brings you joy? To be able to
encourage
that.
people. Absolutely. That really is. That's the bottom line, is that, just to give people hope and be an encourager and a cheerleader. I never was like a real cheerleader with pom-poms, but I feel like I really am a cheerleader. I'm people's biggest cheerleader. I love that. I love to do that.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you associate that with the lightness of the way you describe that. Thank you, Shar. And that was it. And how does that feel? You threw the rapid fire round.
Wonderful. You were very kind to me. Thank you, Minnku.
Always.
Nothing too hard to answer at all.
No,
Absolutely.
no. Being unkind is not part of our DNA. So,
no.
Yeah. So, Shar, before we say bye to our wonderful and supportive audience, where can they find you? Are you most active on LinkedIn?
Mostly these days, I am most active on LinkedIn. Yes. And of course, my website is believeinspire.us. And they can connect with me there. They can buy my book on Amazon, or yes. So feel free to email me.
Thank you. And I'm sure some some of our listeners will connect with you. And of course, I encourage all of you out there to go and look up that beautiful books. In fact, I need to claim my copy and wait till you personally sign it in Varanasi next year. That would be beautiful. So
I
thank you,
love that.
Shar, so much from the bottom of
Thank
my
you,
heart.
Minnku. Thank you, Minnku. Thank you so much. It's my
So
pleasure.
so welcome. So glad we did this. Now for this episode will be out on the 15th of April. And I close this episode with a wish for all of you out there. Just follow the rhythm of your heartbeat and it will quench, I promise you, the thirst for meaning, for life, and it will raise your vibrations for you to achieve that. So join me, Shah, to say bye-bye to a beautiful audience.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Love you all, and we shall see you in the next episode.